and very closely with people who are dentists. And I was looking at this ledger and I'm like, wow, this is small because it only has their name, their date of birth, their blood type, how many cc's or how much blood was given or taken. And remember I told you with traffic victims, they take your blood all the time. I don't know why that is, but they work closely with people who used to be nurses and very closely with people who are dentists. So
yeah, they kind of run a shadow medical setup.
Yeah.
They in trying to get adrenochrome or trying to do all kind of things, they'll drug the kids sometimes to the point of death, and they'll have to revive them. They will torture them till they pass out and give them drugs to make, and this is one of the government experiments that was done, where they will give them this medicine and it will allow the kid to not pass out from the pain. So it helps them, trains them to tolerate more pain. So there's a lot of medical things that go on.
They call that your limits. They call that pushing you past your limits or being at your limit.
So normally if you were in so much pain you would pass out. When that happens, then they re-drug a kid to keep them awake during this time. So there's a lot of medical, dental, nursing things and equipment and supplies and knowledge that has to go on with the things that they do to some of these kids.
Yeah, the medicine that they give you, the way that it's put into your bloodstream, there's a lot that goes into that, and all of that stuff is written down, almost like charted throughout the day. When you come back from a visit, they sometimes call it a visit, but when you come back from a job, when you come back from somebody raping you, or they sent you somewhere and then you come back to wherever you're staying or whoever you're with, they check your blood again and they take samples, and a lot of things are making dots, but I don't know if that's
if you think about it in terms of nursing. If you go to the hospital, the nurse has to chart everything that happens on her shift. The doctor has to chart everything that happens on his shift. They write reports. If you go get an x-ray, then the x-ray radiologist has to dictate and type up a report. So it's like that. If you're a social worker, you have to write reports. If you're a court worker, if you're an attorney, if you're the judge, there's reports that are written on everything. This is the same as that. But a lot of this information is just starting to come to the surface right now. These ledgers and all this information. It's my hope that with these ledgers, several things will happen. Number one, they'll be able to return kids home that were stolen from home. Number two, they will be able to find not just the people that ran the rings, but the people that participated and bought the children. Number three, I'm hopeful that they will be able to make reparations to parents who've lost their kids and didn't get them returned. They will be able to make reparations for these kids and give them financial compensation for kids that are survivors, because they have a lot of long road ahead of them and a lot of things. A lot of them won't have graduated high school. They won't have an education. They won't have means to take care of themselves. So I'm hoping that a lot of good will come from these ledgers.
And then you're suffering, because then when you're out on your own, like for me, I used to feel so stupid because I don't have the education, or I'm not in the timing of where I should be for my age or whatever, and I'm not catching up to my peers, or I'm not able to stand with my peers. And that used to, being at family functions or whatever, I would feel so bad answering like everyone else is in this college zone or in this zone, and I'm not there yet because I was held back in that time. So it takes you a minute to basically grow up and to start from where basically they stopped you at. I mean, if you were 10 years old and Now you're 30, you're still 10.